Hello, and welcome to the Encore Research Group podcast, where we encourage community research and education with weekly podcasts. I'm your host, Benton Loeyball, and this week we're talking about a cough that just won't go away. Is your chronic cough an unwelcome house guest? Some things may be enjoyable in moderation, but strong perfume, group texts, house guests, and coughing lose their appeal when they persist. Coughing is a very useful, protective reflex. With a normal cough, the fast gush of air clears the airway of extra phlegm, water, or other particles. This is called a productive cough because the cough produces mucus you can expel. When you have mucus or food stuck in your throat, a good productive cough can get it out and save your life. When the cough happens in the absence of something in the throat or lungs, it is instead unproductive and can be annoying. When an unproductive cough lasts for several days, it can be frustrating and painful. When it happens for several months, then you really have a problem called chronic cough. Chronic cough is a non-productive cough that is pathological and disrupts normal body functions while lasting more than 8 weeks. Now, in children, the criteria, causes, and prevalence are very different. This podcast will only be discussing chronic cough in adults. Chronic cough can last for months, years, or even decades. It is a widespread condition affecting around 10% of the global population and a slightly higher percentage in America. Most sufferers are female, and the highest rates are in people 40 to 70 years old. Chronic cough may be related to other diseases, such as chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, also called COPD, asthma, sinus problems, gastroesophageal reflux disease, also called GERD, or pulmonary fibrosis. Additional risks include other respiratory infections, postnasal drip, air pollution exposure, and smoking, which increases the chances of developing chronic cough by 300%. Most people can cough on command, but it's much harder to not cough when you feel like you have to. The throat has lots of nerves which sense the environment in the airway and send signals to the brainstem and upper brain areas. When a foreign or dangerous particle like mucus or chili powder enters the airway, special nerves sense these irritations and tell you to cough. Mucus and chili powder, however, run through different types of nerves, called fibers. Mucus is detected by A delta fibers, which are very fast and detect acid and mechanical stimulation, like solid things that move the nerves, like food. These are critical to prevent choking and can be activated even in unconscious animals. Other particulate chemicals and irritants, like chili powder, activate C fibers. These are slower and receptive to many different types of chemicals and irritants. The underlying cause of chronic cough is thought to be an increased sensitivity of these nerves, which makes them send cough signals all the time. It's like being in a group text when everyone is talking and there's just too much noise and you can't leave the group or silence the notifications. The exact causes of cough sensory nerve hypersensitivity is unknown and likely varies from person to person, though nerve inflammation may play a role. There are many treatments and medications marketed for cough, but many have limited evidence showing effectiveness for chronic cough. Non-pharmaceutical approaches include physiotherapy and speech therapy and may be recommended in some cases, but few controlled studies have evaluated these for chronic cough. Treating any underlying conditions like COPD, GERD, or asthma is an obvious goal, if possible. Beyond this, medicines to treat chronic cough must balance the side effects with effectiveness. Over-the-counter medicines like antihistamines, dextromethorphan or Robitussin, and guaifenesin generally have low effectiveness for chronic cough, or the patient would have solved the issue. When over-the-counter medicines fail, many people turn to prescriptions. Opioids and gabapentin target specific receptors on nerves, but those receptors are found all over the body and in the brain, leading to possible widespread side effects, including dependency on opioids. Other prescriptions like benzonatate target A delta fibers, making dosing errors dangerous. In addition, many patients have tried some or all of these without relief and need new treatments. Clinical trials are underway for new medicines that are specific to receptors found on the C fibers, helping tone them down while keeping the choke-preventing A delta fibers functioning properly. With the help of clinical trial volunteers, patients may be able to kick chronic cough to the curb, just like that guest who stays too long after the party is well over. Thanks for joining us on this week's episode. If you'd like to know more, all of our sources are linked in the podcast description. You can also visit our website at encoredocs.com. That's ENCOREDOCS.com. Encore Research Group has been involved in clinical research for over 25 years. We have 7 clinical research sites across Florida, including 2 Phase 1 units. If you're in Florida, join us at sites in Northeast Florida and on the Nature Coast. If you're outside of Florida or South Georgia and are interested in joining a clinical trial, head over to clinicaltrials.gov. For more great content, including discussions by physicians and clinical research experts, check out the MedEvidence podcast. My name is Benton. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you next week.